Good day, everyone. Good day, Ma'am Clarence. Now that we are finished with the introduction to proteins, the primary and secondary structure, I will now report all about the tertiary protein structure, which is a key concept in biochemistry, and it explains how proteins acquire their functional shape. Ang mga protein ay may essential na role sa ating katawan. Nag-act ito as catalysis, transport, and structural support. Kaso lang ay ang proteins ay nag-heavily rely sa kanilang three-dimensional structure. Merong apat na levels or structures ang mga proteins, pero sa report kong ito ay mag-focus lamang tayo sa tertiary structure. And ito ay nagre-refer sa the overall three-dimensional folding of a single polypeptide chain. Alam niyo ba kung bakit ang level na to ay isa sa mga pinaka-importante? Lahat naman sila importante, pero itong level na to, yung structure na to, is pinaka-importante kasi, dinedetermine niya kung paano ang protein na magpa-function. Diba? Hindi mo kaya yun, ma'am. Charis. Let us now move on to the definition of the tertiary protein structure. Let me read po. Tertiary protein structure is the complete three-dimensional shape formed when a polypeptide chain folds due to interactions among amino acid chains. A key idea here is that amino acid sequence determines the final structure. Diba? Para makabuo tayo ng isang peptide chain is kailangan natin ng dalawang amino acid. And yung dalawang amino acid din ay nagsasama at nagiging dipeptide. Next, I will now discuss the forces stabilizing tertiary structure. The stability of the tertiary structure depends on several interactions. First, hydrophobic interactions. When nonpolar amino acids move toward the interior of the protein to avoid water. This is the main driving force of folding. Ayan, ang unang forces para ma-stabilize ang tertiary structure is the hydrophobic interactions. Alam naman natin na yun yung kung paano yung mga non-polar amino acids is nag-move toward the protein para maiwasan nila yung water. Next is the hydrogen bonds, which helps maintain the protein's shape. Third, ionic bonds or salt bridges formed between charged side chains. Fourth is the van der Waals forces, which are weak but collectively contribute to stability. Di ba ang van der Waals is yun yung pinaka-weak na force, pero nagko-contribute pa din siya dun sa pag-stabilize ng tertiary structure. At lastly is the disulfide bonds, which are strong covalent bonds that provide additional structural support. Ayun, all these interactions work together to maintain the protein's three-dimensional forms. Ayun, lahat ng forces na yon is nagtutulungan para ma-maintain yung three-dimensional form ng ating tertiary structure. Now, for the functional importance. The tertiary structure determines how a protein functions. For example, enzymes rely on their structure to form active sites where substrates bind. If the structure changes, the protein may no longer function properly. Di ba ang enzymes, ito yung isang nagpapabilis sa reaction ng ating katawan sa mga processes. Ito yung isa sa mga tumutulong para bumilis yung mga processes sa ating katawan. Pag magkaroon ng kahit konting problema lang sa enzyme or sa protein, kasi ang enzyme ay ano yan sa protein, sa yan ng protein, is hindi naman pa-function ng maayos yung enzyme at magkakaroon ng siguro mga micronutrient deficiency, ganyan. Next naman is, this shows that structure and function are closely related. Even a small change in structure can significantly affect protein activity. Yan, pinapakita doon kung gaano ka-crucial yung structure at function, kung gaano sila ka-connect. Kasi kahit kahit konting anomaly lang dun sa structure ng isang protein is maaari na yung maka-disrupt sa processes ng ating katawan. At ano nga bang mangyayari sa katawan mo pag may na-disrupt dun sa mga proteins na yun? Madaming mangyayari sa katawan mo. Lastly, I will discuss the protein misfolding and disease. Yan, nandun na tayo sa pinakauli. Ano nga bang mangyayari sa atin kung mayroong misfolding dun sa structure ng protein? When proteins do not fold correctly, it leads to protein misfolding. This can be caused by mutations, environmental factors, or errors during protein synthesis. Ayan, di ba? Pag nagsisynthesize na, 'pag nagsasama-sama na yung mga polypeptide chains para gumawa ng proteins, 'pag magkaroon ng anomaly din or kahit konting misfolding is magkakaroon ng misfunction, malfunction rather, doon sa ating proteins. Misfolded proteins are associated with several diseases. For example, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. It involved the buildup of abnormal proteins in the brain. Yun, di ba, ang Alzheimer's at Parkinson's disease. Kasi yun sa mga sakit sa utak. Di ba, pag Alzheimer's ay nakakalimot, ganyan. Kasi sa kanilang proteins, merong nagkakaroon ng misfolding, di ba? Yun. Tapos another example is cystic fibrosis, where a misfolded protein is unable to function properly. Yun. Sa cystic fibrosis, yung misfolded protein, hindi na siya mag-function ng maayos. And ang mga proteins, di ba meron tayong tinatawag na, na denaturation. Proteins can also undergo denaturation, where they lose their structure due to heat, pH changes, or chemicals resulting in loss of function. Ayun, di ba pinagawa mo kami, ma'am, ng nung infographic about denaturation. Ayun. Pero doon, for example, meron kasi di ba nag-nature na yung protein. Mawawala yung function niya. Or for example, yung pagluto ng itlog, di ba ang itlog ay may proteins. Dahil nga sa heat, sa pagluto ng itlog, is dahil sa init, madedenature yung proteins at mawawala na yung function niya. Pero ano pa din naman siya, nandun pa din yung, ang tawag doon, yung structure. Yun. Wala yung function na, pero doon pa rin yung structure ng protein. Kasi may protein pa din yun. Pero yung function, yung pagpa-function niya sa protein is wala na doon. Wala na yung kanyang, yung functions niya. To summarize, tertiary protein structure is a three-dimensional shape of a protein that determines its function. We have different types of structures or four types of structures, which are the primary, secondary, the tertiary, and the quaternary. It is stabilized by different types of interactions, and any disruption in the structure can lead to loss of function and disease. Ayan. Understanding this concept is essential in biology, medicine, and biotechnology. That's all. Thank you.